Yellow.
Hey, what's up? We are here.
We are near. Welcome to the first episode of
Single Father Thrive. It's gonna go down. We have some interesting perspectives to share with you, and we're excited to get it off our chest. We do it all the time, so this is just rehearsal. That's it.
We just needed a camera in front of us.
We needed a camera first, and what a pleasure it is to, do it right here in person. We're not on Zoom. I mean, that's big. We have human connection, and I can
live.
Yeah, exactly. It feels real to me.
By the way, I'm Pancho Cardeña, and this guy's
Sydney McKee. Yep, I'm the green pastures by the river.
and I'm Milica Luce, running water.
Running water. All right, so let's just jump it off. Like, what are we know the main subject we're going to talk about today.
Well, yeah, I mean, since this is Single Fathers Thrive, and this is all about single fathers, and for you out there that are a single father, or find yourself in the situation where now you're living alone, we're here for you. This is basically what we're trying to do here, is just give you guys a voice, or give you guys some validation for what you're going through by sharing what we have been going through, and we'll take it from there and let's see how this grows.
Exactly. Okay. Well, I think for me, a lot of growth and development sparked and happened, not so much actually like the divorce per se, like the writing of the papers and stuff like that, but it happened once I realized that there was a disconnect, and the love that was in the past had now changed, and it had transmuted into something different.
Yeah, see, this is why we have to have the camera in front of us, because we had this conversation so many times, and I keep saying to him, I don't think men and women are meant to be married. Like legally married, like together, great. Like Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, they've been together for decades, and they never gotten married. And they're still going, and they look very happily together.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's a great point. And
I think that once you start to get into the legalities of it all, it just kind of kills the romance, kills everything.
Yeah, and it's also, I think it's a big part of it is societal, or as like in the Carl Jung society, they would talk about the unconscious collective. Those are tough things to battle against. I mean, if you're not locked in as a human, and it's hard to be locked in when you are dealing with the day-to-day, pickups, drop-offs, the showers.
That's a huge thing.
Grooming of the hair, like brushing the hair. My daughter's got like so many ringlets and curls, and she's got like the amount of hair, like
She got a lot of hair.
yeah, a lot of hair.
Definitely. I can get 2 braids out of the hair. She has to have like 4 or 6 of them.
yeah, she's got a lot of braids.
No, but that's really important that you mentioned that, because we're speaking about all of that, the responsibilities that the couple undertakes individually. Now we're in the age where fathers are getting much involved in all facets of raising children. Like, for instance, this guy brushing his little girl's hair. I myself was able to do that as well, and because my ex was such a brute that she used to hurt them, because she was pulling her hair, and I was raised in a hair salon, basically, So I was like, oh, you do. I'm like, just let me do it. And I would end up doing my little girl, my daughter's hair, So, it's that kind of stuff that I think that doesn't necessarily kill the romance, but those are the responsibilities that are, required now, right? I mean, don't you think?
They are required. Yeah, there's a certain amount of I really like the coined, or I don't know if it's a coined phrase, but it's like responsibility is close to God.
Absolutely.
And you know, you also have to have the shadow side of it. We already talked about that many times too. So you have to figure out how to integrate that in a healthy way. Because if you don't, it's gonna come out in a toxic way. And I know one of the big things is, you know, the toxicity happened really consistently, and you know, it's sad, you know, the way that it has to go down, and those toxic cycles. A lot of couples go into them, and you know, the husband, he's just working, you know, just trying to put food on the table, and so he, by the time he gets home, you know, he's not taking care of himself, you know, in the right way, so he can be there present for his children, and give them what they are craving, and also what they need, which can be tricky. We can talk about that maybe in another podcast, but just how much, that's the dad vortex, how much actual real meaningful connectivity, you know, where you're really giving your child some coaching or some proper parenting techniques. It's very limited. It's like 1 minute here, 2 minutes there, 3 minutes here, 4 minutes there, to a total of maybe 30 minutes. That's it. If you do that, you're killing it as a parent. Other than that, the kids are smart. The kids are smart.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, the opposite. And for instance, in my culture, being Mexican and all, you know, I see a lot of parents who are hardworking, but then what happens is that I will find a little baby kid, you know, baby boy, baby girl, still in a stroller with the phone, or what's it called, the tablets.
Yeah, the tablet.
And it's like, come on, I know you're tired, but honestly, aside from all of these technological advances that now we have, and you know, for them to distract themselves with, our children, that it's honestly coming from me, someone who really did not have a stable father figure, you know, around. All your child wants is you. That's it. So, like Sid said, if you just give them a few minutes here and there, they'll be happy with that, and it'll make a huge impact. My father only played with me about once for about 5 minutes, and I still remember it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. They want you, and whatever time you spend with them, even if it's just a little bit, quality time, like you said, 2, 3, 4 minutes here and there, it's gonna make a huge difference, and they will remember it. They will remember all the lessons you imparted.
Yeah, and it's so prevalent too with like they call it First 5 California, and the First 5 California will tell you that the ages between 1 and 4 are so unbelievably detrimental to the child's success when they grow up. And so, and there's stages to it. Once you get past 4, I mean, 5 is still very important, but you go up to 5 to, you know, just a few years, and the child is just rapidly changing. But those first 4 to 5 years are so important for boundary testing, for being able to fall and hurt themselves and learn and grow. And then when you're on the tablet and you're going for that next little dopamine hit, it's not adding any value during those years. So I mean, I know I wanted to say something about just being very conscientious and very cautious about having screens in front of your kids, but before, like when they're 5 or before, because they are highly addictive, and they are they're bringing the child away from experience, and experience is how we learn the most. That goes back to divorce that we were talking about in the beginning.
Right.
Is the experience is what gives us resilience and helps us just thrive. We need that pain. Pain is, I hate to say it, but I mean, I know, because I know how you feel about it. Go ahead, say a little something, because I'm
well. What I was gonna say is that, you know, again, being single fathers, you know, again, The problem is that you don't get to see your children as often. So now you have the input of the great grandparents on the other side, from the mom, or in this case, and
Yeah.
they could be saying stuff. They could be kind of throwing a monkey wrench on your whole, method here of, making sure that your child is receiving the right lessons and the right education. So
That's a good point.
it kind of it makes it even tougher. But that's why it's so important that whatever time you have with your child, that they don't spend it, in front of a screen. That you want to make sure that every interaction you have with your child is full of lessons, full of love, full of understanding, because you have to listen to them as well. So it's I know it's tough, but it's like I mentioned to you before, earlier, that it'll make a difference. They will remember it, and that's the change you want to make.
Yeah. Yep.